All right, so today I'm going to be making a video on why I don't like the Jeet Kune Do community, um, and why I don't associate with any school whatsoever. Number one is it's become a style. Um, the problem I have with JKD, the original JKD community, is that they seem to have made it into this closed up group of techniques and training methods that Bruce Lee used, and it's it's uh it's all based on his interpretation and whatnot, and I feel like they're watering down JKD and the message, and trying to put it into a box when it was never meant to be in a box. I mean, you look at the the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, and you'll see that Bruce Lee clearly intended his interpretation to be one of many. He did not say. He actually said that his his um his his interpretation of Jeet Kune Do was not set in stone. It was not meant to be a rule book or a guide. It was just a set of tools that you could pick from, and you could use. Um, Basically, he emphasized the individual, and yes, there are um, principles, there are guiding thoughts, guiding beliefs, and whatnot, like being efficient, interception, efficiency, all of that, but it's not uh, it's not law like many other martial arts styles make it out to be. It was never meant to be law, but unfortunately, what seems to be happening is people are making it into there's it's like they're saying this is JKD and that's that. Anything else outside of Bruce's interpretation is not considered JKD, and I think that's wrong because um, simply because of what Bruce Lee, what his thoughts are. Um, you look at the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, and you'll see that he clearly said it wasn't a style. So why I don't understand why people are trying to make it into a style. Makes no sense to me. Um, Another thing, okay, and another reason why I don't like it is because there's just no room for individuality. It's like I said in my other video, the one about where's the art in martial arts. It's like I feel like the art has been so lost in the martial arts world. Like you can't create anything new without being bashed. You can't evolve anything with your own interpretation. You can't do anything about. It feels like anybody who wants to use Jeet Kune Do can only use boxing, fencing, Wing Chun, Savat, and basically all the stuff that Bruce Lee used. And I don't agree with that pretty much. I think that Jeet Kune Do should be suited for each individual. Everyone should be allowed to do whatever he or she uh, feels like doing. I mean, not to say that you'll take Wing Chun, Aikido, Tai Chi, put it all together and call it Jeet Kune Do. That's not what I mean either. I mean, there's a set of principles and tactics that make up Jeet Kune Do, but overall, I think that it emphasizes or it should emphasize individuality, um, because that's that's pretty much what Bruce Lee did. I mean, my biggest problem with the JKD community is that there's just too many Bruce Lee wannabes. There's people who idolize Bruce Lee and put him above this sort of pedestal that he was never meant to be in. I mean, because let's face it, nobody can do the things that Bruce Lee could do. Nobody could had the same mindset as Bruce Lee did. Nobody could train like him. I mean, you could try, but it's never going to be the same. And unfortunately, what's happened is now everybody looks up to Bruce Lee as this sort of godlike being, and um, and it's like they're stripping themselves of their own individuality and being dishonest with themselves. I mean, if that's the whole message of JKD, is being honest with yourself, like honestly expressing yourself. Um, so I feel like if everyone truly expressed themselves, if everyone was true to themselves, then we would pretty much see the essence of JKD. But it's become so distorted when people try to fit in a certain clique or whatnot. You know, I feel like if you want to do Aikido, if you want to do Muay Thai, if you want to do Kali, if you want to do anything, um, it's best to do it. You know, do what you want, but apply the JKD principles to it. You know, don't just say, "Oh, I like this style," or "I like that style. I like this other style." No, because that's not what JKD is about either. It's about being simple, being direct, being efficient, and that's there's a lot more to it, but you get the gist of it. Next reason is no adaptability. Um, you know, I feel like in JKD there's this thing where um at least among the so-called original JKD members is they have this set sort of uh ranges, if you will, like striking, kicking, trapping, um grappling, stuff like that, and that's it. Nothing else. And or they have these set of techniques, you know, like it goes back to the style, Pak Sao, all that stuff, Wing Chun, boxing, whatever Bruce Lee used, and there's just no room for growth because you know that's one of the other things that bothers me so much is where's the adaptability, where's the change, where is the evolution? I mean, because if you look at Bruce Lee's teachings, he emphasized adaptability. He emphasized uh, changing with the change. He emphasized pretty much um, breaking your limits, going above and beyond. I mean, I just don't see that in the JKD community. I just see people doing the same things because their master said or because Bruce Lee did it, and they don't want to they don't want to use their own skills in evolving JKD. They don't want to. Um, it's like they're just trying to copy, and I feel like JKD is about making things what works for you, and but not just that. It's also about um, changing with the times and not, not sticking to someone's interpretation of 50 years ago or whatnot. Um, I feel like people should use their intellect and other skills in pretty much adapting to any situation, and because as soon as you get fixed into one routine or one system, then you become predictable. Everybody can predict what you're doing, everybody can figure out what you're doing, and before you know it, they're going to figure out your weaknesses and strengths, and it's going to be very bad for you. um And last but not least is the no realistic approach to self-defense. A lot of JKD practitioners, actually, I don't know how much of them claim this, but um, seems like they claim that they're teaching self-defense and whatnot. And um, in my mind, it's not effective. And there's a reason why I don't post techniques. I don't show people techniques on my channel, and I show them the reality of violence. It's because with techniques, you can just make anything work. I can post a video of me with a friend doing, showing step one, step two, step three techniques, and it could work, but that's only because I'm scripting it. In a real life attack, nothing is scripted. Nothing goes exactly as planned, and um if it does, great, but the chances of that happening are pretty slim. um so I feel like what's happening is people are just, they're taking away the fluidity of combat and just trying to make it static, trying to make it less effective, trying to make it um it's like they're trying to mix, kind of like mix styles in a way, um, or practicing static drills, static techniques, all that. Um, and I feel like with JKD, you should just be spontaneous, do whatever it feels right at the moment, because that's just the reality of violence, is that it doesn't happen the way you expect it to. That's why you see me, um, post videos of actual attacks, not scripted demonstrations, because um, I want to educate people in the reality of violence, the reality of combat, and show how it's distinct from martial arts. Um, so yeah, in short, I'm pretty disappointed with the way JKD is going. Um, I feel like it's distorted and pretty much sanitized a lot of what Bruce Lee taught. As far as JKD goes, I feel like it's become it now. It's become, I don't. It's not just the style. It's just become so uh, more like a clique almost. Um, I feel like some people are actually trying to rob others by posting, claiming to be JKD when it's not. And they're just using Bruce Lee's name to get more money, and I just don't agree with that. And then there's those who have this limited view of it, and if you're not certified, then you're not a JKD practitioner, and that's also, I think it's also very against Bruce Lee's philosophy because, I mean, if you look at his interviews, you study him more. He closed his schools down for a reason. Um, in one particular interview, you know, he said that he did not. He believed that everyone should discover the truth within him or herself. Um, not go to a school and whatnot, and because he didn't believe in standardized education from what his works say and whatnot, and what he actually, the stuff he was saying. So that's the gist of it. That's why, although I do JKD, I don't like using the label that much because uh, I just don't like the association people have with it. Um, and yeah, pretty much. So let me know what you guys think. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next week.